Hello, guys. Welcome to episode number 12 of Crazy Combo podcast. This is Pablo. I'm here with my good friend Dino. How are you doing, Dino?
What's up, Pablo? I'm over here chilling. Just came back from a Halloween party. It was pretty dope.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Glad you're here. It's been a crazy week for me, Dino. I don't know about you.
Oh, it's been crazy, all right.
Yeah, it's been quite an eventful week. So let's hit some intro music and let's get this party started.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dino. So I had a couple of topics today. Let's go ahead and jump into some topics. Unless you want to talk about how your week has been.
Uh, Not a lot of. Not a lot happened, dude. I'm getting tired of how late we get out of work. I mean, it's good for the hours, but it's whenever you have to drive 45 minutes to an hour there, and then drive like the same amount back. It's kind of like you're basically out 12 hours a day, if not more. Know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It gets tiring quick.
Commuting to work
Eventually, you just get
sucks.
burned out.
Commuting to work sucks.
Yeah. Uh, I think everybody wishes. Well, most people would wish to work from home.
I would
Just
get
because.
nothing done.
Yeah, we get nothing done. I feel like I'm that type of person, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, imagine saving that commute time every day. It would add up.
Yeah, it would definitely add up, and time is money, and no one can pay you in time. But at the same time, my ass is very. I have a hard time concentrating. Like I'll start working on something and then immediately think about other stuff and get distracted. So I'm not great at the whole concentrating thing. So I feel like I genuinely would um not do anything and just kind of pretend to work.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I had this topic for this week, and I was kind of reading a little bit about parallel universes
Wait, one moment.
and
How was your week? I didn't
how
ask.
was my
Yeah.
week? My week has been crazy. I'm getting married soon, as you would know,
Ooh, yay.
and I feel like everything that could have gone wrong in the wedding has gone wrong, and then some. So it's just a small private wedding, with a couple friends and a couple family members. So it just feels like everything's going wrong and it's very stressful. But yeah, I'm just rolling with the punches. I
Yeah.
just at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how the wedding goes as long as we get married, and it's I feel like this relationship has moved really fast, but at the same time, it just feels right. So no going back. We're going forward, and we're gonna make it work, no matter what you know what comes up or how whatever things go wrong. Eventually, we'll just work through them.
Yeah, I'm coming from a guy who's married. Don't do it. But also, congratulations. It's always funny. Like even my wife is like, you keep telling everybody not to get married. It's almost like it almost makes me feel some type of way. And I'm like, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But it's not easy. It's if you're wondering, or if you're thinking about popping the question, just realize that it's a lot of work. There's a lot of compromises that have to be made. If you're not 100% vibing with the person you're with, it's gonna be a very, very long 30 years until you blow your brains out. So just keep that in mind. I wish Pablo nothing but the best. Um, I met his wife, or fiance, I guess. I met his fiance. Heard a lot about her. From Pablo. I finally met her, and she was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm really glad you found your person.
thank you, thank you. I mean, she's high ranked in league than me, so if you can carry me in league, you can carry me in life. That's what I always said. So
The power imbalance is gonna be fucking crazy.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
And shout out to this Colombian guy that I met through her. His name is I don't know if I want to say his real name, but we call him the Mango Master. Don't ask me why. But yeah, he's he's really funny. I really kind of want to do like an episode in Spanish where we're either have him as a guest or let's start like a Spanish podcast with him because he's kind of like you. He's like got that same type of personality that's just funny and outreaching and that people like.
I'm gonna get replaced.
Only in Spanish.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
we
be replaced.
could make it a threesome.
Chat, am I cooked?
Hey, you were the one that wanted to fly solo, so I started looking for options.
No, dude, it's not. I'm not flying solo, but I was just like, you know what? Dino is doing Dino things, and I don't know if Pablo could be included in it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own little AI, little guy. Like I asked AI to. Oh right, I was using AI to try and kind of crop out Pablo, from the original logo, the Chibi one, and I couldn't do it. Like it literally wasn't working. I gave him a reference picture, and it puffed out these very very different looking dinos. But I don't know. I wanted to do a little something while I was suspended from work. Try to do a little bit of Twitch streaming, and I figured Dino would need his own little logo symbol, like just for my Twitch. Because if I can make it like the Craze Convo Twitch channel, but we're not gonna do a lot of streaming, I don't believe.
Yeah. So back to the topic. Let's not talk about the time you tried to leave me, and I still have emotional scars from that.
Yeah, okay, I
I,
can live
I
with that.
still, I still got therapy. I got to go to process all that.
I'm not paying for it.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted it to be a what if episode for the podcast, like because I was reading a little bit, just a little bit. I'm no expert, obviously, in parallel universes, but like what if something's very small or big in history like happened a different way? How do you think that parallel universe is? Like if it's the same as ours but one thing changed, like it could be anything.
Like
um
I could have been not married.
like for example, mine was you know um how the US went to war with Mexico and they ended up getting all this extra territory. Like imagine if Mexico had kept all those states and the US never went to war. Like, how do you think would be? Do you think it would still be the USA is this huge world power and like all these Latinos and Mexicans are coming to the US for a better life if they had this states? Because I think the biggest economies in the US, I'm pretty sure two of them. I think number one is California, and Texas definitely has to be top five.
At least.
At least. And then you have Arizona, New Mexico, and I think there was one more.
No
But yeah.
idea.
So yeah, imagine a parallel universe where Mexico got to keep that and the US never reached to the other side. Like how do you think that would what do you think like the world would look like?
I believe America would still be fucking you know, like a big power just cuz whatever it wants it gets. It's sort of like Harvey Weinstein. Like if it wants Mexico, if it wants certain parts of Mexico, they will fucking go to war for that. So I don't think it'd be a worse place, but there'd definitely be a war, you know, to reclaim those areas that were lost. Because that's America. That's our
We
beliefs.
s- we see oil, we go for it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I think it would be very different. Like I feel like without Texas, California, without making it, controlling those ports on both oceans, I think the U.S. wouldn't be the power that it is, and that would affect a lot of things, right? Like especially for WW2 with Japan and everything. Like
Not to be
where
not
we,
to be confused with WWE.
yeah. So how we got attacked in Hawaii. Do you think the U.S. gets Hawaii if it doesn't control California? Like I think it's just like completely different world than what we currently have, right? And then it led me to thinking, if we don't really go to war with Japan because the US is kind of a smaller nation and Japan doesn't fear the US, and then the US doesn't beat Japan in World War II,
We wouldn't have hentai.
and yeah, we wouldn't have hentai, we wouldn't have anime. Like,
If
isn't that
Sir,
crazy?
what's his name, Sir Ferdinand Third, or what the fuck is he called? There was a guy I remember. I looked at a fucking. It's sort of like a domino effect. It was like Lord Ferdinand the Third got killed or assassinated, and it like led to World War II, and it led straight to hentai. I don't know why that's a one of those things I think about, and I mean, because whenever I think about when I fucked up in life, I'm always like, you know what? I think it's like not one thing I can pinpoint. The only thing I can really pinpoint as like, oh, I fucked up was being the sperm that won.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, that's where I went wrong. I fucking swam a little too fast.
Yeah. But can you okay, let me tell you how I ended up like looking and reading about parallel universes.
Rick and Morty.
No, so it was actually a personal what if that it just came up in my mind because apparently I went all my life without knowing I had some type of ADD, and
Uh-huh.
my sister has it as well. She's the one that told me about it to get checked for it because she went all her life without knowing she had it. Now she's on medicine for it, and now she can focus. And she had all this trouble getting things done and like organizing stuff, and you know, um, it turns out that medicine actually helps with that. So a lot of things that I had trouble that I thought were personal faults apparently can be attributed to my ADD. And if I'm on medicine, it should help me go through life better. Like organize better, like actually focus on things, actually do things until I finish them instead of losing interest. Halfway. A lot of things that I just thought were like personal failures, and it had me thinking like, what if I would have like if I knew I had it or my parents knew I had it and they gave me medicine, and when I was in middle school or something, I started on medicine. What would my life be like if I knew I had this and like they gave me medicine and it helped? Would I be like a doctor? Would I be a lawyer? Would I be running the world? Would I be a junkie that like, got addicted to Adderall or something?
I definitely think you would have gotten addicted to Adderall, especially with like the stories you tell. I'm like, there's no doubt in my mind you would have fucking had some kind of you would have been some kind of drug dealer in college, and then you wouldn't like graduate and shit.
But imagine all the women I would have had because of it. So I mean that sounds like a good trade off. Like
It's
prison.
worth it. You'd still
Yeah,
probably
worth
you'd
it.
still probably end up at the same place we work at. They accept felons there.
Yeah, so I was just thinking of what if I had medicine and I told a different friend, he's been a guest before. I think his episode never made it because we had technical difficulties. But
No, we
yeah.
just don't like them.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to say that, on the podcast, but now he knows
Nah, I'm
if he
fucking.
listens.
Hey, if you're listening, I love you, dude. Don't kill yourself, because that's one of my concerns. Wait, so
That
you're on medicine right now?
so I haven't taken it, but I did get it, and I don't like taking medicine overall. But my sister has been telling me like, oh yeah, so it's not Adderall, something similar. And my sister's like,
It's
it
crack
helped her with
cocaine.
so much. Like my sister is like, I won't say she's a different person, but she's more organized. She's she's like cooking more. She's like being more active. She's just like finishing things. She's like actually, I don't know, just feel like she's having a better life thanks to the medicine. and it just makes me think like, what would life be for me if I would have known I had it? Because I even got called out a couple times. Like, I would find something I liked. I would do it for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, and or like sometimes I would like find something, do it for a whole day or half a day, and then just lose interest, never finish it. Things like that. And apparently, that's kind of one of the things that it helps. Also, organization and cleaning stuff. Apparently, that was one of my ADD things where, and I just started thinking like, dude, can you imagine like would I be a completely different person? Like, would I be a lawyer? Would I be a doctor? Maybe,
I think you
maybe
really,
like you said.
I think you really want me to say yes. You would be a completely
Yeah,
different
yeah,
person.
yeah. I've been waiting for you to say yes, and you're like, "No,
You're just
you're being a
fishing
drug
for
dealer.
it. You're
You're
fish,
trying to drag me down. Yeah,
yeah. You're fishing for it, and I'm not gonna give it to you.
and I was like, you know what? I might because I remember I always liked computers. I was like, maybe I would have gotten into computer or something. But it just made me think about the what ifs, and not only
You
that,
know
but
who
like,
else likes
okay,
computers? Reddit mods. Do you really want to be a Reddit mod?
if I get a Discord kid in, yes.
No, it ain't worth it.
But it made me think about all the different what ifs of the world. Like, for example, what if we never met? Like, what do you think we would be? Like, how would do you think that would affect our lives? Because, like you said, I think even though we haven't known each other since we were kids, I think you become one of my best friends, and that definitely have impacted my life in big ways. Like, for
Yeah,
example, you're the one that introduced me to disc golf, man, and that's what something I love.
I was about to say. I was about to say. I thought you were gonna go in a different direction. Like I introduced you to feet. Yeah, now you pay
Oh,
attention.
okay. Can I tell the story of how you
Yeah.
corrupted me?
Yeah.
So he always started pointing out girls' feet to me, and I've never been into it. Like, I mean, I guess some girls do have pretty feet, when they paint their toenails or whatever, but I never really care. I still don't. But he always like, yo, check out open toes, or like, check out the bro, that girl got pretty feet, or something like that. And I was just like,
Look at those fucking dogs.
yeah, he would say something like that. And I remember this one girl that he thought was hot before he was married, and then I was like, we're hanging out, and it was like a little birthday party, and I'm like, hey, bro, this is your chance, go for it. And the girl had brought like sandals or
Sandals.
something,
Sandals.
yeah, and he was like, nah, not anymore. Have you seen her feet? And I was like, no. And then he's like, go look at her feet, and I was like, okay. And he's like, what do you mean, okay? Like those things are messed up.
I really hope this
um,
person who we're talking about does not. Well, I don't think she'll know,
yeah, we
but
won't give any more details, but yeah. So
it's just it's like it's not even. I don't even know what to say. It's just
don't give any more details, but yeah. So he just didn't like her feet, so he used to think she was hot and she was this and that, and now he's like, nah. Once he saw the feet and the feet are kind of bad looking or
yeah, and
terrible to
like I
his
said,
eyes.
it's not like they have to be perfect, just normal. Hers look like those weird Chinese like binding feet. You know what I mean? Like when they used to bind people's feet. That's what it looks like to me, and that's why I'm a little weirded out by it.
Yeah, but so yeah, so this man, you can tell he's a degenerate, and he kept pointing out girls' feet to me so much that one day somebody, walks in at work, and she's dressed up. She's kind of like wearing open toe shoes, and she had just painted her toenails like a pretty color. So then she sits down, and they're kind of in my line of sight. So I kind of go like, oh, like that's a good color. Like, yeah, it looks nice on your feet or something. I caught myself thinking like, yeah, this girl got pretty feet, and then I was like, what's happening to me? I have never ever before noticed girls' feet. Like this man is corrupting me in ways I do not want to be corrupted. And I told
You're
him,
looking at your palm is trembling, like your hand is trembling, like what am I?
yeah, and hopefully, and fortunately, she took it well. She was like, "Oh, thank you," But I was like, "What am I doing?
Well,
Complimenting girls like toes? Like this is not who I am. I'm an ass man. I am not a feet guy."
you will succumb to the dogs. And like I said,
Yeah.
it's not like they have to be perfect. I will say like I don't need this isn't really something that's like bad of me to share, but my wife has like this one toenail that grows a little crooked, and it kind of goes into like a point ish kind of. So like I said, they don't have to be perfect, but it looks normal. You from like far away, you can't tell the difference, not until you look closer. Um, so that's like I said, they don't have to be perfect. They just have to be not weird.
Yeah, but going back to the what if, what do you think your life would be if we hadn't met?
Uh, that's kind of tough because the way we met is it was bound to happen eventually. My group of friends talked to your group of friends, and or you were in the group of friends they talked to, so we just kind of started talking from there. You know what I mean? So,
So what happened was that I reconnected with a guy that I was kind of friends. I mean, we were friends, but we were never close friends because we kind of lived not really close to each other, and we only saw each other every now and then.
mhm.
And then one day we reconnected over League of Legends, and then he like kind of introduced me to your group of friends, and then I became friends with everybody. I think in that group of friends, we started hanging out.
And
But
he
for
was
years, we kind of knew about each other, and it was mainly for League of Legends that guy was like, oh yeah, my friends also play League of Legends. You want to play with them? So that's kind of how we met. But I'm saying like I feel we have had a lot of impact in each other's lives. So it's like kind of crazy to think where our lives would be if we hadn't met.
yeah, and I complete stranger. Like we only spoke online and mostly yelling at each other because I'm not great at League, and I invited him to my birthday party, and that's how the origin story of Craze Convo um podcast. But yeah, it's we would have met eventually, I think. Dang, it's a really good question. I don't think my life would really change all that much. Um, in terms of being depressed and making terrible decisions. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel like I was. I mean, I've always wanted to do a podcast. I've tried before in the past, but it just never really worked out. And that is one thing that I will say that you did. You were also into podcasts, and then you got me into audiobooks. Oh, that's a big change. I wouldn't have listened to audiobooks because they're expensive, and you taught me the best way to listen to them. Um, and you got me
yeah,
into it. I'm not gonna say
yeah. I was gonna say we're fans of One Piece.
it. We're fans of Jack Sparrow.
Um, and yeah, I was just thinking like we have, even though we haven't been in each other's lives so long, we had a big impact, and then that kind of made me think of all these what if scenarios. Like, what if I never played League of Legends? Because I feel like a lot of the people that I'm connected to nowadays are one way or another, kind of got impacted by League a lot. Like, there's friends that kind of moved away that I still keep connected to this day just because of League of Legends. Like, whenever like, oh, like once a month or something, they'll go to an internet cafe somewhere and they'll be like, hey, I'm in League, and I'll drop whatever I'm doing so we can like catch up and play League. And there's people from different countries that I've met playing League, like Canada, Colombia, Mexico, like, and that we become friends and they're part of my life through League of Legends. And then I was like, man, what if I never got into this game to begin with? Like, what would my life be? Would I be an astronaut? Like, cause this game, like all my teammates drag me down and they make me rage, which makes my life worse. So, like how good would my life be if I didn't have League of Legends?
Damn it, Pablo! I'm not gonna say you're a doctor.
How about a lawyer?
All right, fine. I mean, the first person with autism. No, what was it? It was either a Down syndrome. It was she actually passed the bar exam and became a lawyer. So she's pulling into the courtyard to the courthouse with a fucking briefcase filled with chicken nuggets. So I mean, you could have been a lawyer.
Okay, well, I got a question
I
for
can't
you.
hold on. I can't do that with League. I'm too dog shit at the game. So like whenever like I play a game and I'm doing decently well, the people will add me like, "Hey, dude, you want to play another game with us?" And then I'm like, "Oh, sure, dude. Yeah, all right." And I do absolute dog water on the next game. So then they're like, "Okay, I think I think we're done playing for today." And then I try to like play with them again, and they just never accept my invites.
Yeah, League is one of those games that there are people that add me whenever I do really good because they think I'm gonna do good every day or I'm a Smurf. I think that's one of the biggest compliments you can get is whenever they're like, "Are you a Smurf?" I remember when I was playing and the game started me at bronze and somebody was like, "Hey, you're pretty good. Like, are you a Smurf?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm just stuck here. I just having a good game." So he's like, "Hey, let me add you because I want to give you some tips because I think you could like at least make it to gold, which I had just started my climb, so I knew I was gonna eventually get to high silver, at least gold. Because whenever I make it to gold, I just give up because I think ranks kind of feels like work to me. I just want to play the ARAMs or like normals and just just mess around. And he gave me some tips. He was like, turned out the guy was like diamond or like something pretty high up there. So he gave me a lot of tips, and then I kind of just forgot about all of them because, like I said, I don't really try hard. Even though I do get mad whenever people troll me in the game, I don't actually like to try hard.
I I don't get mad. I play for fun. That's my biggest issue or weakness is I love the game. I love to play games. I don't like to master any game or get really good at it. I like to have fun. Enjoy my time. It's a hobby. It's not really something I want to get upset about. Um, and it's just I don't know. It's just how I am. But I'm sorry. Go ahead with what you're saying. I just wanted to put that in.
Oh well, now I'm thinking about the funniest memory I have of League of Legends. It was when we were playing together,
Hmm.
and
I think I already know which one it
uh,
is.
yeah, and sometimes I still think about this. It still makes me laugh. So he was playing this champion mid. I'm sorry for everybody that doesn't know about League, but it's like a 5v5. Uh, and there's a guy that's called the jungler who comes into your lane where you're like facing your enemy, and he can help try to kill him. And so I was playing jungle, and I come to help him mid lane, and I'm like, "Hey, dive him, bro, we got him," because he was really low health, he was about to die. So I'm coming out the brush. I'm running to help him, and I see the enemy jungler is here, and I'm like, "Oh, nope, never mind." So I just start backing up, and I forgot to tell him because I just kind of noticed, and I was like, "Oh, I thought he saw him too or something." So I didn't say anything, and this man goes in to try to kill him, and he's like, "I'm killing him. I got him. I got him. Wait. Where you at? Where you at?" He starts screaming, Pavel, where you at? Pavel, I trusted you." Meanwhile, I'm just walking back
Yeah.
like it never happened, and everybody bursted out laughing. And one of our friends, who's like very serious, very cheerful guy, he died laughing. Like he actually got killed in the game because he was laughing so hard because he saw us.
I
He
trusted
saw the whole
you.
interaction.
Fuck.
That
I
was
I remember
the
that
best
moment.
memory I have of League of Legends.
I remember that exact moment.
Yeah. How did be that was the day you learned real betrayal.
Yeah, genuine betrayal. And it's uh where are we going with this? If
We're
we
just
never
thinking of what if scenarios. Like, what if, do you have any what if scenarios? Like, what if I never met this person? Or what if I, you know, bought a house somewhere else? Or what if I had a different job? Something like that.
what if I finished college is one of my biggest ones. I went to
That's a good one.
college for computer programming, and the thing is about Hispanic parents is I don't know if this is like 95% of the time, but Hispanic parents are always like you have to go to school, you have to go to college, like you have to study and like, but they don't you don't know what you want to do. Like hell, up until the age of like 17, I didn't have a social security number. I didn't think I was gonna be able to even apply for college. And next thing I know, my main man Obama came in and gave me you know a way to go to school like with the DACA Dreamers Act, and all of a sudden I'm expected to like know what I want to do. Like I didn't know what I want to do when I was little. I wanted to be a video game designer until I found out how much math was behind it, and now I'm just like, well, I guess I could do computer programming. Like I can work from home. I can have some like what you call it, like a decent paying job. I think it'd be a good idea. And then it turns out, um, I did well for the first 2 years of college. No, it was like semesters because I was on like a 2 year track. So first semester I was doing great, A's and B's. Then I got into my second semester, where I actually started working with computers, not just like the ones necessary to graduate, like math and English. So I actually started like I learned how to like kind of put computers together. I learned how to uh like I was learning about like Windows, Microsoft Office and stuff like that. It was a little bit more difficult. I mean, I still got relatively good grades, so it's not like I was doing like awful in school, but it's it was really hit or miss after that because I took a programming class, um, and I would pay attention in class. I would regurgitate the answers, but the problem is, I never did the homework because I was either busy with my girlfriend at the time, or busy like taking my mom everywhere because I was her personal taxi during that time. Um, and like I'll be in class and I'll be like, oh man, this shit's so fucking easy. Like I can do this in like a fucking minute, and then I procrastinate like a motherfucker. And then when I actually get to down to like actually trying this on my own, I'm like, hey, this is a bit different from like class, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. And they had these like homework work days, they're like workshop days, where they didn't have class. It's just like you can go and the teacher or professor would like help you out with whatever, um like whatever you need help on, and I would just blow it off and hang out with my girlfriend at the time. So I really genuinely fucking wasted, uh my potential, which is one of the things that I used to fight with my dad about this. Like, I just felt like a fucking failure that led me down this path of like, I'm a fucking failure. Like, um, I'm not worth like anything. Like, like I just disappoint. I'm just a huge disappointment. Um, but if I would have stayed in school, I probably would be a programmer right now with a Discord kitten.
So all I'm hearing is that the girlfriend was a problem, but it doesn't matter because you got laid.
Yeah, I got my dick sucked, so I saw it worth it in the end.
Yeah, that's a good what if because I think about the same thing sometimes. I'm going back to school and all that, but let's try to switch it up because I kind of got
Yeah, this got depressing.
little sad. It got depressing.
Yeah,
Like
this got kind of sad. Let's not.
I don't want to talk about your feelings. Like you know, I want you to make me laugh, not think about suicide.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
No. um. So no, for real though. Do you have any other what ifs?
What if? Like I said, it's not. There's a lot of things I could have done differently in my life. Another what if I guess would be like, what if I never got married? I think about that sometimes. Like, what if I never? So okay, I'm gonna give you the story of how I got to with my wife. So basically, I worked at this plant alongside her, and she was a non-Spanish speaking speaker. So I would always help her out with like translating. We'd have these meetings. We'd like sometimes the what's it called, the team leader, I guess, would like try to talk to her, but she doesn't speak English, so I would translate for her. And then whenever we had off time, I would talk to her. Like I'd go and talk to her, and we kind of got to know each other. And it got to the point where I decided to ask her to be like, like my girlfriend. And she was kind of not into it because she is older than me by a couple years, like 6 years. She's 6 years older than me, and she was like, I don't know if I want to fool around with like someone this young because it's not. She didn't take it serious. Um, but I mean, we kind of tried. It was all right for a bit. It wasn't a. She's raised in a traditionally old fashioned Mexican household. Like the first thing her dad told me was like, "All right, I'm just gonna let you know from the jump that I don't really like my daughter going out by themselves. Like I don't like you know like like letting her out without like supervision and shit. That's just how it is, how it was back in the day, especially in Mexico. Um, so we always had to have supervision, and we couldn't really go out on dates. And I eventually got fed up. I was like, look, I want to date you, I want to go out with you, but it's just we can't do anything. Like I barely even get a chance to spend time with you because we're either always at your house with your mom in the room, or we go out to like a party. Like we went to like two dances, and both times we had to be accompanied by her sister and her husband. So I got fed up, and I was like, all right, look, if the things aren't gonna change, like if we're just gonna continue this on, I don't want to be here. So I left. I broke up with her, and it was hard to really break up with someone when you work with them, because I didn't want to talk to her because it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a waste of time, a waste of effort, and I was just like not into it. Um, so I would ignore her, just trying not to regress. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I that's all I did. I just ignored her. And um, she'd try to talk to me. She'd go in front of me and like try and get me to talk to her and stuff. But I was like, all right, you know what? And then I hurt my back and I wanted to leave the job, so I eventually left. As I was leaving, she was like, "Oh, I'm like sad. Like you don't even talk to me no more." Like she found an excuse to come talk to me. Like I gave her food one time, and it was like not even the whole Tupperware. It was just a little container or whatever, the bottom part. But she was like, "Hey, I got your like half Tupperware. Like, you want me to give it to you?" And I was like, "Fine." So we started talking again. And then I left because I fucked up my back, and I was like, "I'm gonna find a easier job." So I left. And I went to where me and Pablo are currently at. And my dumb ass, well, it wasn't really a dumb thing, but I was just like, you know what? I feel kind of bad. She was genuinely sad that I was leaving and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna give her a little gift card, like a little gift, like a farewell gift. It was like a bucket. It was like February or so, so it was a lot of Valentine's Day stuff. I gave her like a bucket with hearts on it. It had flowers in it, and I wrote like a little note, like, hey, just to let you know, like, I wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget that how pretty you are. Like, I'm sure you'll find a good man, and I hope he treats you right and all that. And then when she saw that, she just started like, she said she even like broke down crying because she was like, man, like people don't do that anymore. Like I genuinely lost a good man. So I don't want to like lose him forever. So she was like, you want to go on a date? Just the two of us? And I said, all right, we'll go for coffee, but it better just be you and me. So she was like, yeah, yeah, it's just us. So we went to go get a coffee, and we just kind of went from there. Um, and it got to the point where I was like, look, if I don't, if I don't marry you, we're never gonna have sex. You know what I mean? So I did
Mm-hmm.
it for fucking sake.
Oh dang!
Not,
I expected a whole romantic ending.
no, 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 no. But I was just like, you know what? Like, because I came back because I didn't want to just mess around. You know what I mean? Because I wanted, like, if I'm coming back to you, if I'm gonna put in this effort, I don't want to just date. You know, like this has got to go somewhere. Otherwise, I'm just
Yeah.
wasting your time. I'm wasting my time. So eventually, we got into the idea of getting married, and eventually I did. Like, I bought the proposal ring. I proposed to her, and like 7 months later, we were married. So
Nice.
I'm sorry, that's a lot. That's a long way to get to my what if. What if I never left that gift? What if I never like looked back and what if I never really gave a shit and just left? Um, I still think I would be depressed. I mean, I was pretty depressed when I was single. I had zero luck on Tinder, dating apps. Like, I tried asking people out in person, and the women would always be like a bit put off. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how to ask people out and shit. I say people like I'm gay. No, it was women.
You're
But
bi.
yeah, I'm bi. No, I'm not. Anyways, but I would never know how to ask them out, and like I never know how to like start something even casual. I've always been like unattractive and fat, so it's just kind of like I don't have any experience or confidence or anything. Um, so it'd be really awkward when I try to ask a girl out. And then, um, I think I would blow my brains out eventually after a really bad League of Legends game.
Dang. Okay, that was very depressing.
I don't know what's wrong with my energy. I think I'm just tired. It's
Yeah, I
late.
think you're just tired. You know what? Let's do a craze combo card segment. Maybe that'll uh help you get you to change your mind so you don't want to harm yourself anymore.
I have one bullet that was left over
Oh
from
yeah,
the.
yeah. So we had a little bachelor party for me, and it was just it wasn't like strippers or anything crazy. It was just us hanging out,
Like
and
the good old days.
thanks for doing that for me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I did it. It was fun.
Well, we had a friend that was drunk. We won't say any names, but he was so drunk he literally laughed so hard he like fell off his chair and like rolled on the ground. So he literally rolled in real life.
And he
And
yeah, right. So it was funny because one of our other friends popped up, right? And he came in a car that I've never seen before. So I was like, "Who the fuck is this? Like, I didn't invite him. Who the hell is this? Are we gonna get fucking mowed down?" It was like a truck. It was like a fucking nice looking truck. Like, I thought we were gonna die. And so the guy does like a cocking the gun action. You know what I mean? Like, he is, and I thought he was just doing the motion of cocking the gun until they told me, "Hey, you know he has a real gun," and I said, "He what now?" So he actually had a real gun, and I was like, I don't want to I don't want to mess with the vibes. I'm just gonna not tell anyone. And turns out y'all already knew because he like fell, and that's when y'all saw the strap.
oh yeah, yeah. So he had a strap and he was drunk, and I guess when he saw the car, he kind of, he put a bullet in the chamber, and then he forgot he had it, so he kept setting the gun down, and like the
Yep.
barrel would point at somebody. And if you know anything about firearms, it doesn't matter if the gun is empty. If you know there is never a bullet, you gotta assume there's a bullet. Never point the barrel at anybody. Always point it at the ground and point it away from people. And at one point, this man Dino tried to, do the responsible thing and take the gun from him and kind of like, make sure there was no bullet in the chamber. And he had the safety, so Dino's not really a firearms kind of guy. So he kind of
Not because I
didn't
don't
know how
want
to
to.
do it.
Not because I don't want to. I just don't think I legally can.
Anyway, so I'm like, here, let me hold it. And the drunk friend kept swearing, "There's no way I have anything in the chamber, guys. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never carry
He
one in
took
the
the
chamber."
magazine. He took the clip out.
Yeah, yeah, he had taken the clip out. So then I pull it back, and the bullet flies out, and I'm like, "Oh, there was one in the barrel." I'm like, "It's something really going wrong." And um, yeah, but
See,
yeah, that was funny because he fell not once but twice. He fell from laughing. Um, right?
I was genuinely like, and the thing is, he was drunk to the part where like I you couldn't understand him. He would talk and go on tangents and they would make no sense. He was like fucking up his words and shit. And I think he was genuinely getting like mad, and I this is probably the closest I've gotten to getting shot.
Yeah, at one point he got really mad because Dino, as a surprise, he got me this Jello, like shaped like an ass, you know. Um, and we were eating it, and everyone was like talking about like, oh yeah, this tastes really good, like this is good Jello, and it was funny, that it was shaped like an ass because it's a bachelor party, even though we're
No
just
strippers,
hanging
no
out.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, which I mean, I had a great time. I'm gonna be honest. It was perfect. It had everything I love. It had pizza. It had board games, which I love board games, and he had like a bunch of my friends showed up. Not everybody could make it, but we understand the reasons. So it was great. We had great music. It was great. It was really good. But when it got to the surprise with the Jello, being shaped like ass, he kept saying, "No, no, I ain't eating the homie's ass. That's the homie's ass. Like
yeah,
I
that's
ain't
his
eating.
girl.
That's his girl's ass. I ain't eating." And everybody, and then he kept asking, like, "Dang, you gonna eat that ass? That's the homie's supposed to eat that ass." And we're like, "It's just Jello, my guy." And he was not having it. And then he kept telling me, like, "Hey, you see the eating the ass? I'm a real one, bro. You know who your homies are. I ain't eating that ass. If you offer me that Jello ass, like, I'm not eating that ass because that's your girl's ass." And I was just like, "Okay, thanks for being a real one."
And I was
you
like,
know.
I was like that. I keep referencing that video that probably a lot of people don't really remember, but it's like I was like, it's Jello, and he's like, nah, dude, I'm not gonna eat it. It's his ass. Like I, I'm not gonna eat his girl's ass. I'm like, it's Jello, and he's like, dude, you're telling me that like you telling me that like you would like I would ask you to like eat my wife's ass, and I was like, it's Jello, and like I just he got so mad, and eventually he never ate the Jello.
Oh, but he got so mad, he was like, "We're leaving. Like, I gotta leave before something happens." So we're kind of like, "Oh yeah, this man is like, he's unhinged." So he was about to leave, and then we're pulling out the board games. So he's like, "Wait, you want to play board games? Like, shoot, let's play." And we're like, he was so mad he wanted to leave 5 seconds ago. Whatever, let's just play.
Yeah, so I had a great time. I almost got shot. It's fine. Um, so yeah, as congratulations, Dino. I did the best I could. Being married. Anyways,
No, yeah, it was great. I appreciate everything, man.
yeah, go ahead with the thing.
Yeah. So the crazy combo card of the week is describe a time when you had your trust broken and how that affected you.
Ah, fuck.
So we just talked about that time in league, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my villain origin story. No, that's a really so it's just any moment or like does it have to be like specific moment?
No, anytime you had your trust broken and how that affected you.
Uh, I don't think I've really lived a lot of that to be honest with you. Like, I don't believe that. Like for example, I don't believe my ex was unfaithful, but I also um I had tons of trust issues before a different reason. It's not like my trust was broken, but basically, the thing that broke my trust was, or the thing that gave me trust issues was, witnessing both my parents be unfaithful. That's the thing that really, like, I had, that's why I had trust issues. Like, I couldn't trust, my girlfriend at the time. And it was kind of funny. She would always tell me this one line. It was like, um, I'm down for you like four flat tires, but it couldn't get it through my head just because of what I experienced when I was younger. So I just never gave her the trust she probably warranted at the time, and
Yeah.
it's just that I always had trust issues. Like even like jealousy, like I'm really jealous, really protective, overprotective. Um, I really fucked up that relationship just because I witnessed these two people who were supposed to be just with each other for the rest of their lives, and they're still together. I Lord knows I couldn't do that, but they stuck together for me and my brother's sake. So shout out to my parents, but that did really fuck up my trust. You know what I mean?
Mm, yeah, yeah, that must be traumatic to experience that as a kid. I had something similar, but I want to talk about that. I want to talk about a moment that happened to me when I was an adult that really kind of broke my trust. There was this woman that I was head over heels with, in love with, and I had asked her to move in with me, and I felt like things were moving in a direction where I felt like she was the one I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And she had a daughter who I had gotten so close to, and I know that little girl loved me. I loved her too, like she was my daughter. And at one point, I had kind of realized maybe she's not feel doesn't feel the same way, or she doesn't see a life with me. So I kind of let her go. And you know what they said: if you let something go, if it comes back, is yours. If it doesn't, it never was. Well, she came back, and she ends up telling me like, look, and we reconnect, and things again. It feels like I want her to move in. I'm telling her like, I want to start like, I want to be a family with you. You have a daughter. I want to have other kids. Like I want to get married. Like I'm not. I'm serious about this relationship. Like I see it like leading into more. And she was always busy with work or with something. Every time we were supposed to go on dates, like whenever she needed something, like let's get a ride here or there, or like she would ask me like, oh, can you help take me and my daughter to the doctor or the dentist or here or that? I would always take them, and then we would go out to eat, and we always had a great time. And then she would tell me, oh, I love how you're like here present and you like help me take the kid, like my daughter here. You act like the dad, and I love that in you. So I always took it like, yeah, we're heading the right way. But every time I wanted to do something just me and her, like just go on a date or something, she was
Mm-hmm.
always busy. So what really broke my trust was one day where she told me, "Oh, I'm just so tired from work, and I'm just so busy I can't go out today." And it was like a Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to work that Saturday because she had volunteered. Single mom wants extra overtime hours, whatever. She told
Mm-hmm.
me she didn't have time on Saturday. So then she's like, yeah, so I don't have time Saturday. And I was like, well, let's go out and have dinner Friday night. And she's like, I don't know, maybe. And then she ends up telling me something, either she felt sick or she was just tired, or she ends up telling me some type of lie. And the reason I know it was a lie was because her daughter accidentally, I guess, she went to this party, hanging out with some dudes and some, well, some of her girlfriends, and they're getting drunk and whatnot. And she actually took her daughter to the party, and I guess she kind of gave her the phone, like, um, here, just leave me alone, I guess. And her daughter actually accidentally called me, and and I was like, hey, what's going on? And she was at a party, and yeah, I was so. I realized like, okay, this girl's just she was dating me not because she loved me or because she saw a life that we could build a life together. She was more like, he's stable, he's a good guy, he's a nice guy, that type of energy. She didn't want to share the fun moments with me. She wanted me to be her like stable net, the responsible one, the one she could rely on, but she didn't want to share her wild side with me. And that kind of broke my trust in her. Where after that, even though at a couple different moments, she did try to make it work, and we did try to make it work. After that, it was just never the same, because after that, I just didn't trust her, and I just felt, even though she told me, and we had deep discussions about why she did that, and like, you know, um, I just never, like, it just broke my trust. I just could never trust her the same, and I feel like without trust, there can't be love, because you're not gonna be perfect. But if I can't trust you, to
Be honest
make
with
me
you,
your first priority,
or be
like I
honest
just
with you.
can't. Yeah, yeah, just being honest, and also like if I'm not the first priority in your life, I know I understand the kids and stuff, but like your friends cannot be a higher priority than me. That's what I've told everybody that I dated since then. I was like, if you ever like, if we're dating, and I'm not talking about getting to know each other on a date, if we're ever dating and I'm not your first priority, like if you're like, oh no, my friend this and that, or some friend or coworker got tickets and you're like gonna ditch me for that, like at that point it's over. Because if I'm not a priority over your friends or your work or something like that, when there's something important, like at that point I know you don't care enough about me to make sacrifices for me, and that just means like it's not a serious relationship. But
Yeah,
yeah, that broke my trust. And I gotta say, like later she got married and she had a kid with a guy. And while she was pregnant, she hit me up and wanted to hook up. So I dodged the bullet.
it dodged huge bullet there.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
I dodged the bullet.
there's a parallel universe where you are already married with a kid and an adoptive, well, I guess a half kid, and you're getting
No,
you're with an unfaithful person.
yeah, I literally thought about the what if in the parallel universe. I was like, what if, my ex didn't play it off as cool as she thought she was, and she actually agreed to move in with me when I first offered, and then we get married, and then she cheats on me. I kept thinking like, how would I react? Would I go like,
Kill the kid.
scorch earth, like we're gonna
Kill the kid.
like no, I wouldn't kill the kid, but
Kill the
I
kid.
would. I feel like I would do something to ruin her life. Like I would just go full vengeful mode, or
Yeah,
would I be
killing
heartbroken?
her kid would probably ruin her life.
I wouldn't do that to the kid. The kid is innocent.
Nah, just
But I don't
collateral.
know. I don't know. I feel like I would have either one or two things would have happened, which I think personally I would have gone in like full vengeful mode where like the dude and you were like, I'm gonna make y'all suffer. And I don't care if innocent people get caught in the crossfire, you know?
Kill the
And the
kid.
other thing is like, yeah, like the kid, or if the person had a partner or whatever, I would
Kill
just
kill
not care.
kill the
I
kid.
would be like,
Kill it.
yeah, I feel like I would be a full Trump supporter because she was like I
Whoa,
won't
whoa,
share a
whoa,
lot of
whoa,
details,
whoa, whoa, whoa!
but I
You're
feel
taking it
like
now. You're
I
taking
feel
it too
like
far. Hold up. Now you're taking it too
I feel
far.
like I feel like I would be like, we need to send her back.
No, no,
I
hold on, hold on. Now you took it too far. It was okay. I was
I just
okay.
feel like if she cheated on me, I would go like full like vengeful mode. Like, you know what? Because she was like one of those people that came initially years ago with one of those like refugee things. Whatever, I don't think it's called refugee, but like the people that came
Asylum.
from one of those, yeah, asylum seekers. So she originally came to the country. So I feel like I would have gone like full Trump. Like part of me thinks like there's a parallel universe where I'm a big Trump supporter. I'm like, send them back, that type of thing.
Got a
Which I know sounds
Latinos for
crazy.
Trump hoodie.
Yeah, I feel like I would be a big Latino for Trump because like she cheated on me. And then there's the other part where it's like, what if I'm just all like depressed and or like I'm just like you say, uh, I never thought of myself as ugly or anything, but I definitely didn't have the biggest confidence. And even though I always had trouble finding somebody that I could be myself around, because I felt like I had to be fake for girls to like me. Like I had to pretend to be into, like music I wasn't into, go to bailes, go to like
Rocks.
rodeos, like,
Chakras.
either, yeah, I would try to kind of be who they wanted me to be. Like the music they like, take them to the places they like. Like it was kind of hard to find somebody that I could actually be myself around. I remember a couple of different girls I dated where they would be like, I would try to talk to them about books or something, and they'd be like, books, because they were your
Gay.
typical Mexican girls. They want to go dancing. They want to listen to corridos. That type of
Books.
girl.
Gay.
And oh yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, anime, that's for kids," and I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, that's for kids."
Nah, yeah.
I watched it when I was a kid. Yeah, not anymore. So I feel like I had to change myself for that. So part of me is afraid that I would be like, you know what, this girl's so hot, so pretty, whatever. She cheated on me. If she apologized, I'm never gonna do better than her. So I would just be this pathetic loser, hating his own life, but like being afraid of being alone. So like, I don't know. It's interesting to think about these what ifs. But yeah, I think
I was fully on board with killing the kid, but once you thought about supporting Trump, that's when I draw the fucking line.
Yeah, you were fine with killing the kid, but the moment I became a Trump supporter and wanted to send the asylum seekers back, that's the moment you were like, nah.
Yeah, that's the moment
Um,
I was like, "What the fuck, Pablo?"
yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a parallel universe. If parallel universes exist, where I'm like, where the girl cheats on me, and then I just take my hatred and to all asylum seekers, like, yeah, you know what? Uh, I'm sending her back, and like we're gonna build a wall, and I become a big Trump supporter. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a parallel world where I'm a big Trump supporter.
And that's the world where we wouldn't have this podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. I had a great time. It's getting late. I gotta put my clothes to dry. So I'm signing off.
All right, see you on the next one.